Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm in a different part of Studio Studio B, because there's some construction going on next door. So here we are. Here we are, and I am your host. Thanks for checking out the Be Your Own Hero show. Checking out Be Your Own Hero show. Being your own. hmm, I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous, y'all, because I got a special guest today. So let me start back up. So, hey, I'm Sekou, right? And this is the Be Your Own Hero show. And I am your host. I'm a motivational speaker and an author. Here's my book. Here's my book. Here it is right here. Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Right Now. Check it out. And also want to check out my well my thing my thing that I'm doing with Black Men Run, Steps of Success 5K. Any way you want to slice it, you want to go back to this right here, runsignup.com / sacred rights and give, because today's the last day. Today is the last day. I got to come up with this first. Today is the last day. Come on now. Come on now. Show these kids how you want to be. How you want to be in life, right? Show these kids how much you mean to them, even if you never met them before. Because you've got to, matter of fact, let me show you a picture of them. A little picture of them. Just a quick snippet. Yeah, just a little quick snippet. Okay, opening the link. And here we go. I'm gonna show them right quick. So just so you can get a visual image of where this money is going. Look at these kids. Look at these kids, right? Wearing the Black Men Run shirts. They're ready. They're ready to get out here and get into it. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. We are helping these kids learn how to read and learn how to run. Now imagine if you knew how to run at this age. At this age, can you imagine? Like, I don't know where I would be in life if I had learned to run then and stuck with it and stuck with it. That's important. But anyway, that's that is your final decree to share this and donate. Runsignup.com /read. Okay, so I'm going to get started talking about money. My special guest hasn't shown up yet, so I'm going to start talking about money. Let's get into it. All right. So, wait. There we go. All right, here we go. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Once more time with feeling, I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe. Okay, so what I hadn't expected to talk about this soon is what's happening with Forex. Because I told you that I've been trying to figure out how to sell. Because I just want to put my bid in. I'm putting my bid in because I remember this from buying stock. From buying stock, I remember that I put my stock on one stock, $1. $1. And I remember it yesterday, like it was yesterday. I remember that I thought that the world was going to end. I did. I thought the world was going to end. I put $1 on a stock in the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic, and I just put $1 up there, and I thought it would just vanish on me, right? But no, it didn't vanish the next day, and it grew. I was like, what is going on? And then they sent me a dividend. I was like, what? And I had just gotten in right before you happen to get dividends, because dividends are paid different schemes. Like sometimes they might pay you monthly, sometimes they might pay you bi-monthly. So it doesn't matter. It just so happens that I happened to buy a stock before 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 I got in. And so now I want to introduce my special guest quickly, because we only got about 15 minutes. So we're gonna get right into it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you and the Forex God. I mean, he's really, truly a great man. And here we are. Give it up for Mr. Calvin. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
What's up?
How
What's
are
up?
you?
You hear me? Oh,
I can
I'm
hear
good.
you.
I'm good. All right, just making sure you got me.
I got you loud
So,
and clear.
yeah, I'm glad to have you, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you for
This is a
inviting.
this is a big surprise. Because for the people who don't know, you are a big, truly big player in the Forex space. So thanks again for being here.
To God be the glory, man. So it's a pleasure to be here, brother.
Yeah, yeah. So for those who don't know you, tell us how you came to Forex. How did you come to Forex, and what are you doing now?
Yeah, so my name is Calvin. I go by the name of Calvin, a new trader. I'm the host of the Forex Beginner Podcast, the #1 daily Forex podcast for new beginner and development traders. I came into trading simply because I was a inspiring entrepreneur for multiple years, and then I finally started making money on my own from my own business. I have a media company which I consult with business owners. I help them with different strategies, content, advertising, things like that. And I finally got my business to a place where it was actually making enough money to support myself, my family. At the time, I had a 2-year-old, and my wife was pregnant with my second son at the time. Yeah, so I had finally, when the pandemic was about to, in 2019, I finally got the business to a point where I was bringing in enough money to be able to support and live comfortable, right? And then once 2020 came in, business just started going to a whole nother level. And then the pandemic happened, and then business got even better because everybody was going online. So everybody was calling me. But around that same time, I got introduced to trading. I had a friend, he goes by the name of Ron. And he was just like, yo, I just signed up for this platform that teaches you how to trade and all that type of stuff. And he just kept calling me every single week, like, yo, you need to check this out. And I was just so thrilled to be in business for myself and actually making enough money to support my family and live comfortably. And so he was like, yo, but you need to check this out. And then, just to fast forward the story, something happened where I had this contract. The Super Bowl was in Miami. It was in 2020. And I had a contract to do marketing and advertising for a concert for the Super Bowl. And what ended up happening is I got paid, but I got paid for one job, but I was required to do multiple people's jobs. And it was so crazy, so all over the place. And I needed the money. All I have is my business. So I needed the money. So I couldn't complain. I couldn't make a fuss or nothing. And so I picked up my friend's call that next day and I said, listen, as soon as I finish with this Super Bowl concert, I will be calling you because I need to learn about this Forex stuff. And from that point on, it's just been a journey from there. I've been doing it since then. And now I'm able now to make a consistent stream of income from trading every single month. Still not where I want to be. I'm still growing. I'm still getting better, still learning a lot. Still have my losses, but I can say that every single month, there's income that's coming into my household from trading. And it's a good amount of income.
Right. Now, I know you don't like to be specific about amounts of money that you make, but give us a sense, because these are for beginners. My show is for beginners, so give us a sense of how much money.
Yeah. So my biggest consistent months has been between 5 and 6K per month. Like that's like my biggest consistent month, like month after month, being able to make that has been between 5 and 6. Right now, this last month that we just closed out, right now we're in September. So in August, I think I closed out with like 4K for the month. And I'm just in my third year. So this is just my third year. I've learned a lot of different strategies, and a big part of my journey has been finding what works for me. So there's a lot of information I've gathered. I've spent like close to like, I want to say maybe $10,000 on mentorship, education courses, like all those type of things. And so I have so much knowledge that my biggest struggle has been trying to put everything into a simple system that I can follow. And this year has truly been that year for me. My biggest year of trading was last year, which was 2022. I made, 5 figures plus, like trading with a prop firm. And so I was able to do a lot of things for the family because that was just additional income that's coming into my household outside of my media company. And so this year, the goal is 6 figures, but if I don't hit it this year, then next year the goal will be 6 figures until I hit it. And then from there on, it'll just continue to go up. So yeah, my best consistent months has been consistently month after month has been between 5 and 6K. And that was last year. And this past month, last month, I closed out with about 4K take home.
That's
so
amazing. That's amazing. So let me get you to do some definitions because I don't want anybody to get lost. You said a prop firm, trading with a prop firm?
Yeah. So
what is that?
Yeah. So a prop firm is a proprietary firm. I don't know if I said that word right, but it's it's a firm that essentially will fund you capital, right? And so that's the sense of it. So prop firms nowadays is different from what traditional prop firms are, right? So a traditional prop firm is essentially me. I have a lump sum of money and I want to start a firm hiring traders to trade my money. That's essentially what a prop firm is. It's an in-house source that does not solicit money from outside sources. The funds are generated from the owners, and they hire traders, put them on a salary, and give them a percentage of commissions. And essentially, traders are allowed to trade the prop firm's capital. That's a traditional prop firm. There are like so many of them. I don't even want to even, put a number out, but there's so many of those like in the big cities like Chicago, New York, and all across London and all across the world. Those are traditional prop firms. Now, what we've seen pop up recently within like the last, I want to say 5 to 8 years before I started trading, of course, is these I call them new age prop firms. And these are the prop firms where you pay a small fee of maybe, like $90 for a 10K account, right? And they give you a test and you have to be able to manage risk and be able to reach certain profit targets to prove that you know how to manage risk and that you have a profitable trading strategy. Once you pass those tests, they're really called challenges, but they're essentially a test. And once you pass that, they'll quote unquote give you a 10K account or whatever size account you pay for. And once you get that account, every trade that you take that goes into profit, they will essentially give you the opportunity to withdraw up to a certain percentage of that profit that you made, right? But with these new age prop firms, a lot of these accounts are simulated accounts, which mean they're demo accounts. They're still paying you out as if it was real money, but they're simulated accounts, they're demo accounts. And essentially the money that you're making from the profit that you make on those accounts are coming from the other traders that lost money by taking the test or the challenge, right? So that's like the new age version of prop firms. The traditional ones are still around, but it's harder to get with those because you got to go through an extensive training program and all that. These new age prop firms is just, hey, if you got money, you pay for the test, the challenge, and then you take it. And so I have been able to make the majority of my money trading from these new age prop firms because it just fits me better. It forces me to stay disciplined. It allows me to take an investment of as little as $500 into a 100K account. And within a couple months, I can make 10 times that 500 that I invested into that challenge. And so those are the things that work for me. The prop firms. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been doing that with prop firms. Now, I think I heard you say that you started this whole thing during the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah. So I started trading. I placed my first trade in like March of 2020. Like I was just doing whatever. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I went into a mentorship and I stayed in the mentorship for a year and a half. And then in 2022, toward the middle of 2022, that's when I left the mentorship and just started like my own journey, doing my own thing, figuring out what works best for me. I didn't get funded until October 21st, the end of 2021. And then I started making my first payouts. I made my first payout that next month, but I really started making the majority of my money in 2022 from prop firms. Yeah. So I've only been profitable for about 2 years. The first year was just sketchy.
Yeah, I just wanted to point something out because I didn't realize this, but I started with during the pandemic as well. I was just talking about before you came on how I traded $1 on one stock. I mean one trade, and I was talking about how that grew and grew and grew and became something, but then it kind of got tore down because I had a stroke. A sizable major stroke, and so that has deterred me a little bit. But now I'm trying to come back in, and come back in strong. And now I'm trying to learn forex, and so I found baby pips. If you remember baby pips, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Found baby pips, and I found it yesterday, and it had the speedometer, and it had 6. Like I had already done 6 lessons. I don't even remember because of the stroke. I don't remember it, but I remember just catching that speedometer and knowing that I've done this before. And so I'm grateful to you for being here and talking about this stuff on a very beginner's level. So I want to emphasize that very beginner's level. So that said, how and why do you get a broker? How and why do you get a broker? Like what is that?
Yeah. So a broker is basically how you get access to the market, right? So they're the middleman. So you have something called a liquidity provider, which these are the companies that actually put trades into the market, right? The broker is the facilitator between the trader, which is us, and the liquidity provider, which is the actual firm that actually puts trades in the market. Like they move the market. The liquidity provider is where the money is, right? And so the broker is just a middleman, and we need brokers in order to access the market, right? And so essentially you need a broker when you're ready to start trading real money. But if you're starting a demo account and you're practicing, you still need a broker because you got to create a demo account with the broker to start being able to access the live market. So essentially the brokers are the middlemen that allow us retail traders, which is any trader that trades on their own behalf. Brokers allow us access to the market in order to participate. And when you're ready to start practicing through demo trading, which is like simulated fake money, or if you're ready to put some money into it, that is where you have to sign up for. And there are many different brokers. I often recommend, if you're going to invest a sizable amount of money, you definitely want to find a regulated broker that's regulated in your country and your local area. You don't want to go with a regulated broker that is regulated in Australia and you live in the US, because who's to say if something goes south that their regulation in Australia is going to cover you in the US. It's a toss up. You don't know. You know what I mean? And so if you're going to put a sizable amount of money, a rule of thumb for me is I never put more than $1,000 into an unregulated broker. Now, the reason that a person would go with a unregulated broker for all of my beginners is because the unregulated brokers allow you to risk more money on your trades. So they allow you to have the opportunity to risk more in hopes to make more. When you're dealing with a regulated broker, they typically don't allow you to risk a lot of your money. So for instance, if you have $100 account If you're dealing with a US regulated broker, the most you're probably going to be able to risk on one individual trade, maybe $20, maybe $25, no more than 30, definitely on one trade, right? Versus if you are using a unregulated broker, which gives you more wiggle room, a lot more wiggle room, you'll be able to risk pretty much off $100. You'll probably be able to risk about 80 to probably $90 on one trade of that $100 account.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you. Check this out. This is from Fee King, who's saying, is it popping up? There we go. Thank you, Calvin. I finally understand what a broker does. Yes.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Shout out to Fee King.
Yeah, shout out to Fee King. And she also wants to know what it means to get funded. What does it mean to get funded?
Yeah, so getting funded that means that if you are looking to get involved with a new age prop firm is what I call them. And those are the prop firms that essentially you go on their website. One prop firm that I recommend on my podcast, for it to be in a podcast, is Blue Guardian. They are a prop firm that, from my experience, from trading with about 6 or 7 different prop firms and being funded with them, they have the best restriction, like the best guidelines for traders that are actually still developing, that want to try out getting funded. So for instance, if you want to go for a prop firm like Blue Guardian, right, you essentially just pay a fee and you take what's called a challenge. Essentially, it's a test to prove that you can manage risk and you can also execute a profitable trading strategy. So the test will consist of something like this. Hey, Fee King, we want you to make 8% on your account, and you can't go negative more than 4%. So that's what the test would be. Once you do that successfully, they'll give you unlimited time. So you don't got to do it in one day, 1 week. You'll have as much time as you need, so you can take your time doing it. But they just want to see how you trade and how you manage risk, right? So once you pass that first test or challenge, they'll have a follow-up behind that, and they'll say, okay, congratulations, Fee King. Now we want to see you make 4% profit, but we're going to also give you 4% risk as well. So then they want you to do it again to see if you can duplicate what you did the first time. If you're able to pass both of those challenges, phase 1 and phase 2, then you actually get the funded account. So that's the account now that every bit of profit you make, you are entitled to a payout of 85% of whatever you make. So you make 85% of whatever your profit is, and then they take the rest. And then you can make a payout like every 2 weeks. And so that's what getting funded means. You're finally at the point where all the trades you're taking, you can actually cash out and get an 85% profit split from those trades that you've taken, versus when you were doing the challenge or the test, you were just proving your skills that you know how to trade and you know how to manage risk, if that makes sense.
Okay. You put me on something brand new. You're putting me on something brand new, right? You put me on these prop firms. So how early could I be? Like, could I do this now? I mean, just starting off, like, don't even have a broker yet. Can I do this now, get a prop firm, or do I have to put in more time?
No. So that's what I love about it. It's completely up to you whenever you're ready. So the reason that I have partnered with Blue Guardian, which is the prop firm I recommend, but there are many, right? But the reason I did that is because I started getting so many emails from traders that are new that are saying, hey, Calvin, I don't want to go the traditional route like you did. Because my story was, my first account, I put like $475 into an account, and I grew it the first week to like, I think it was like 1,400 or 1,500, right? Like I doubled it, almost tripled it. But on the 5th day of the week, I blew it all, right? And so traders were hitting me up saying, Calvin, like, I don't want to put no $400 into an account. How about I just go and take I put $50 into a challenge, and if I pass the challenge, then now I'm trading $5,000 or I'm trading $10,000.
What?
And yeah,
are those numbers that we can for real trust? Like,
yeah. So again, with the new age prop firms, they're going to pay you out based on those account sizes. But in actuality, just being transparent, you're trading a demo account. So it's not real funds, like real actual money, but they're going to pay you out. Going to pay you out. So if you get funded on those accounts, like right now I have a 100K account that I just got like a month ago in August, right? And so I've already made 4 payouts on that account. So I've already made maybe like $5,000 off a $475 investment in a month.
Okay.
In like a full month. You see what I mean? So even though that 100K account, I know psychologically it's a simulated account, I'm still getting paid when I go and profit on that account.
Okay.
And that account has made me 4K last month in the last 30 days.
Okay. I just want to make it clear to my viewers. Demo is play money, right?
Correct.
Demo money is play money, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So what these prop firms do is they put you in that demo environment, but they're going to pay you out based on what you make. And so for me, I just focus on this is money that I can make, and then I can take a portion of this money, I can enjoy it and reward myself for being disciplined and trading right. And then I can take the other half of it and put it into my personal account. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I've got a great question that's going to close us out. I think
sounds good. Let's go.
Let's go. B King again. B King again. Hit us with this. Here we go. How can you speak to those who think they can't afford to day trade, can't afford to invest, can't afford to get into the stock market? Like, how do you get in?
Yeah. Listen, every day you don't do it, you're losing money.
Pause that again. Pause that again. Say that again.
Every day you don't do it, you're losing money. I'm just being honest. We are in a day and age, like, just think about it. Like, Fee King, I don't know your age, and I was told to never ask a woman her age, right? But when I grew up, I'm 33 years old, right? When I grew up, my mom had one job, and that's what she did. And people in the community knew her as the school teacher. That's what she was all growing up, right? My neighbor across the street, he was Ed the mechanic. Everybody knew Ed for being the mechanic. That's all Ed ever did, right? In this day and age, that's no longer in existence. The school teacher is the school teacher by day. She's the Uber driver at night. And on the weekends, she is a tutorer or something like that, or a housekeeper or a realtor, right? Everybody has multiple hustles. Nobody does just one thing. And it's not that they're doing this by choice. They have to. The cost of living is so high. And what's happening is we're losing the family. Everybody's so focused on trying to survive that we're losing the time with the family. We're also losing the development of purpose. People are not able to create the Walt Disneys, the Steve Jobs, the Jeff Bezos. We're not being able to cultivate great ideas and bless the world with them because our time is so spent on surviving. And so for anybody, like, I just tell everybody, any skill set that you can master that can multiply your money without you having to look over it or watch it. You can get into a trade and set a stop loss, take profit, and move on with your day. Any skill set that allows you to multiply and that's not tied to your time, you cannot do it. Like, it's no reason that you cannot do it. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's no, you have to do it, because the way things are going right now, we're going to end up at the end of our lives and we're going to look back, and where our most time has been is working for money to survive in a place that we were sent to come to have dominion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my motivation is you have to do it, regardless of how long it takes, regardless of how slow you learn. If you're fearful of losing money, start with a small amount that don't bother you. You can fund a Forex account with an unregulated broker. You can fund an account with as little as $10, and you can risk like 10 cents per movement in the market. But you got to start doing this. Anything that allows you, again, I got to stress this to anybody listening, any skill set, whether it's stocks, whether it's Forex, whether it's whatever, You know what I'm saying? Like an online business, a podcast, anything, YouTube, anything that will allow you to do the work one time and allow the money to trickle in later, you have to do it. If not, you're going to look back at your life and you're going to say, my whole life, I spent my life working. And that's what I'm seeing in my mother. And that's what I'm seeing in my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. And I want to be the one to at least make the second half of their life not like the first half of their life. Because in the first 50 years, that's all they did was work for money. So I'm trying to do what I got to do to ensure that the second half, that they can relax a little bit and get out of that cycle.
Ashe. So, yeah. Ashe. You got Seppi saying preach. She's saying preach, teach. So Amen. Thanks so much. We ran out of time. We're gonna have to have you come back.
Yeah. Anytime, man. And listen, I'm sorry I was a little late. I had some technical difficulty, but man, I'm happy I got a chance to come on.
Yeah, happy to be here. So thanks folks for checking us out, and we'll see you next time. And remember to what's my thing? That now is better than perfect. Now is better than perfect. Ashe. I'll see you guys later.